Today we're going to show you some of the great highlights from Daytona Bike Week 2024, and then stay all the way down to the end because we're going to give you what our thoughts were, if it was good, bad, sucked, or whatever happened.
So stay tuned to find out.
Hi! Come and see us at Twin Peaks, Daytona Beach. Yes.
Where we at?
We're in Daytona Beach, baby. Bike Week 2024. Daytona Bike Week!
Birthday girl, what's your name?
My name's Lindsay, come to your train station.
Thanks for coming to Twin Peaks, Daytona Beach for Bike Week. Come see us again next year.
I'm ready for it. I love that. No, 314. Thank you very much.
Oh!
What's your name?
Leah,
And what do you write?
I'm riding a Street Glide Special.
Very good, thanks.
Thank you. Bike Week, baby!
There you
She isn't too dirty. She came in pretty clean, so didn't have to do too much work on her. Just make sure, just leave it on for about 30 seconds if you have heavy butts. Wipe it on off, and you'll be good to go.
I use MP. Hi, Tam. Yeah.
Welcome to the Land Bike Week!
I'm in front of J&P Cycles at Teddy Moore's Harley Davidson. Come say hi. All over. But when I looked last night, it looked like. Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Tiffany from the Broken Spoke. Come out and see us.
Here we go. That's what I want. 650 Ford 6-door. There you go. How about that?
I thought you guys were filming. Oh, you are filming. Yeah.
We are filming.
This is on a recommendation from somebody that actually one of our subscribers told us that we should check out. It's called the Pump House. It's a barbecue house. It's right here on Granada. One of the things I like about more than anything else is it looks like a shop. An old-time filling station next door. I think they got an ice cream place going on. So kind of neat. We'll tell you what we think about the food in just a couple of minutes. Once again, we all got done eating. So what do you think about the Pump House?
Oh my gosh. I always compare it to the Shed. I would say this is a very close second to the Shed.
So I talked to the gentleman that actually owns the place. Actually, there's two. One guy that's actually the came up with the recipe, and the other guy is actually, I think, the money with the property. But what they ended up saying was, I asked him, bike's going by. I ended up asking him, how did you learn? Where did you come from? I thought maybe you might have been working at the Shed. He actually is from the New York area, and then he kind of moved a little bit south, and when he was a kid, he started playing with barbecues and stuff like that. And his dad had a restaurant or something, I think he said too. And over the years, he just kind of kept doing this. And this gentleman that he knew here that was looking to open a restaurant, he said, I'm looking for somebody that can do barbecue. And he's like, I do a pretty good barbecue, so let's try that. So that's how it all started. So right now, they're here every single day. Every day that they're open, he cooks all the meat, so that way it keeps the same. Where there's a couple other places in town that are actually a chain, and he said the same thing. When you go around to their chains, you kind of lose the quality of their taste.
Yeah.
So at this time, they have no intentions of ever doing it. As if he did any competitions, he's done some local, but they're trying to go, since they got everything all set up, they got the store and everything here now, that they're looking to go maybe bigger and go to some competitions. Not chain this. This will be the only place they're at. They're right here in
Ormond Beach on Granada, almost right across the street from the Roseville chicken place.
Yep, Hull's Kitchen. Hull's Seafood Kitchen is right across the street, and another place, Alexander's Cafe. So it's right down here. It's about in the middle of the Granada here, from the 1 to the A1A. So we highly recommend this place. Check it out while you're here. Tell them Bob and Tam sent you.
And right next door is the ice cream shop.
What? We talked to a lot of people. We even talked to quite a few after the rally, because we kind of stayed around here till Monday. And we talked to some of the vendors, things like that. That's what we're going to kind of discuss a little bit right now with you. One of the guys that we stay with is named Sam. That's where we stay with during the rally. He's been doing it for 25
years. Yeah.
He's been going and sitting up on Main Street there. Watches the bikes go by. He gets there at 9 a.m., stays till about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. And he kind of watches what goes on. He's been saying pretty much he gets there by 9, and by 10 o'clock the street's already pretty full up of bikes already.
Hard to find a spot to park.
He even went up there on Sunday and he said it was crowded. Actually, there he said it was almost by 9 o'clock. He got there at 8 that day, and by 9 it was already full. So there were still a lot of people in town on Sunday that still wanted to be involved with Daytona Bike Week. You know, how did the vendors do? Some of the vendors that we talked to said they did up and above what they had did last year. You know, that's really great because it's tough for these vendors to spend all the money to get here, to do the jobs they need to do, and take care of all of us. So that's really good. We did have a few vendors, some clothing vendors, things like that, t-shirt people, said they didn't do quite what they had done last year. But, you know, maybe everybody decided, you know, we don't need to buy all that stuff. Just kind of need to maybe do some work on my motorcycle.
There you go.
So a lot of you know, we know Amsoil Adam, and he came out and basically the last 2 days kind of pulled him out, and he ended up doing better than he had done in the previous year. So that's always really great for Adam too. So when you look at a rally like this, what we've seen is if you go back to 2023, it was kind of scary because what ended up happening is the Thursday before the rally started, doesn't start till Friday. That Thursday before, up there at Destination Daytona, you couldn't even move. It was so crowded. Bad news was they didn't have a liquor license yet. They couldn't start selling until Friday.
So they kind of messed up on that deal.
Yeah. So what ended up happening is it was a great weekend. It was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was just crowded like everywhere. We're still talking about 2023, but when it came to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was like, holy
Ghost
smokes,
town.
where's everybody go? Where'd they go?
They're gone.
You know, what happened? Then all of a sudden, come on Thursday, here comes
The
another
following
group
week.
coming, and we ended up having a really good week too. It ended up being, it kind of pulled itself up again. This year was very similar, except for the exception was we had a pretty good crowd the whole week. But what was crazy was, come about Thursday, we got a whole nother group of people came in with the people that were already still here. Maybe a few left, but most of them were still here. And we had a really great time, and it was crowded. There was a lot of bikes. You know, I would say we were probably 100,000 people at least were here. You know, I don't think there was 200,000 or 300,000, which is probably what they'll tell us in the numbers, but I don't think there was that many bikes to be there. And if you watch our channel, we kind of explain all that, and we're not going to do that tonight because we're just going to tell you a little bit about what we thought, how everything went. You know, we found some really great restaurants to eat at, and that was back on, you can check out some of the other videos of Daytona. Found some really great places. There's actually one that was on this video you just seen.
Yep,
it was
the
a
Pump
barbecue
House.
place.
The Pump House.
Yep, really like that.
Really
It's
good.
right there in Granada. There's actually a whole lot of really cool places in between the US 1 and the A1A on Granada.
Yeah.
So you might want to check that out the next time you're down there. We actually got our first referral from the chief there in Ormond. He had told us to go down and get the chicken down there.
At the Roseville.
And that's excellent there. It was really good, great food, and we did it twice now. So that's really great. There's a lot of great places to eat. You know, most of the people were pretty hospitality. We didn't really have too much trouble with anybody. We didn't see any fights. You know, there was a few deaths. We're going to be talking about that once we get a hold of the police, get all of our numbers. I'm pretty sure, I think we've got 3 that we know of. One was somebody ran a stop sign and he killed a person on a motorcycle. Next group was motorcycle wasn't paying attention and he slammed into a whole bunch of other motorcycles, about 4 or 5, and he died from that. And the rest of the people got airlifted, or not airlifted, but took them to the hospital and got checked up and they all got out.
Injuries, yeah.
So then there was another person that got killed on the highway. There's 2 they didn't say anything about, which there was a couple, I think it was a Thursday or a Friday when the rally first started, that they were on the 4 heading towards Orlando and got killed.
I think it was a motorhome and a motorcycle.
The other one that I seen, I think it was Sunday night, so it's still part of the rally, was elderly gentleman. He went off the road. They said somebody was behind him, was watching him. He kind of started going off the road, and when he jerked the wheel, he lost control and he died. So that's the 3 that we know of. There may be more, but those other 2, I don't know why they're not counting that, so that'd be about 5 altogether. So we'll get to more exact numbers. We got some literature, we got some information from the newspaper already that we'll put some articles and talk about them as we get a little bit more facts of that. But that's kind of what we know for sure. We've seen some cars pulled over. We've seen some people get tickets, or not to get tickets. We don't know if they got tickets or not. One person had their sunglasses on top of their head and they were riding right there in front of the cops there in front of Iron Horse. And,
It was an overcast day, so I think he was, he might have pulled him up.
But you
when he
know the
stopped.
law.
I know, but I mean, he probably wasn't thinking, and
So I don't know if he got a ticket or not. Another person we seen get pulled over, same area, over there on the US 1, right there by the Iron Horse, after we were going towards downtown. Somebody got pulled over. And when we looked, we were like, what happened to him? He was with like 3 other bikes. He had no license plate on his bike. So he might have had registration and all that. Maybe somebody stole his plate. Who knows? But his friends were down the street. They kind of waited on him, so we don't know what happened there. We seen another bike get pulled over. Pretty much the same area. Was pulled over by a police officer. Not quite sure why he got pulled over. We only seen as we pulled at the into Nova there and made a left. He was sitting there at the light.
on the other side there, and we could see him already been pulled over, so we don't really know what he got pulled over. Police were running his information. So over that, we did see several cars pulled over too. We didn't see anybody hassling anybody. We didn't see anybody getting tickets on Main Street. We were down there on Friday night, Saturday night. We were down there a couple other nights we were down there.
During the week, yeah.
We spent quite a bit of time on Main Street this year, a little more than we have in the past, and we didn't really see the cops doing anything to anybody. Not saying they didn't talk to people, but not saying anybody didn't get a ticket. But you know, if you do something stupid trying to get attention, they'll give you a ticket to give you the attention you need in court. So that'll work out for you too.
We did hear somebody got proposed to on Main Street. Sam said he saw that. We didn't happen to be there. That would have been cool to videotape. But
they ended up being his friends, blocked the
off.
street, stopped all the bikes. He got down on one knee and proposed, and everybody applauded. And it was kind of neat. I don't know if anybody caught that from social media that got that up there, but that is a good story that we did here. There were some great things. We also heard out there at Fastlane was probably one of the biggest crowds they've ever had.
For the bike burning.
Bad news was it kind of made it tough for the bathrooms, getting food, getting beer, and everything else because they just didn't have enough accommodations for all that crowd.
For the big people.
It's very hard for anybody to estimate things like that. You know, they do the best they can when they do these events. You know, so there's like t-shirts being sold out, or, you know, might be looking for a certain motorcycle and they sold it before you got there. Things, you know.
Happen.
Yes. So hopefully next year they'll kind of readjust that and then maybe things will change, or maybe not as many people go out next year.
Never
Who
know.
knows? I was actually sick that night. So on Friday night, we didn't go out. I actually got whatever she had from the week before and went to bed about 7 o'clock. I think I was out by about 8. And we slept all night, so I didn't get to make it back out. We were going to go out the fast lane. Didn't know if he was going to stay for the bike, but ended up it went before 10, which was great.
Yeah, that
It was
awesome.
perfect that they got it up early. Last few years, it's been really late. They put that sucker on and took forever. Last year, I think got wet. That's what took
Yeah,
so long.
and they couldn't get it. It wouldn't stay lit. They kept trying to light it, and it wouldn't go.
You know, there were some great bike shows there. You know, Willie's, we'll have another video come out soon. There was a couple clips in this video of Willie's Chopper Time show. I'll have a whole video of that. He had a bunch of great interviews. We'll do a video just of his. Out at JoJo's, out at Giuseppe's Pizza. He had a great chopper show too. It was really cool. I got a few of the bikes that were leaving there. That was from his show. Also, there was one I missed. I wish I would have got there earlier. I did get a lot of all the bikes filmed, but I didn't get all the action that they had. JoJo, I haven't found that clip yet I had of him jump starting a bike or kicking a bike, and he won the award for, you got to keep, you set a bunch of bikes up there and you go back and forth and you got to make sure they kick over and it has to fire up. And he ended up winning, and he told me that was his second year. So I'm still looking for that. It might be in the video if I find it. But if not, I'm still looking for it. It's there somewhere. But that bike show looked like it would have been a great one too. It was choppers and vintage bikes and stuff. That's what I love about Daytona than any other bike show around.
Any other bike rally.
That's right. Any bike show. That the people that come to the rally, the bike week, the people that live here, they ride those bikes in. There's a few that I talked to, which you've probably seen that, well, when you watch that video, that they did, you know, they parked across the street and they pushed it across the street. It didn't run right away or whatever. A lot of people we talked to didn't get the bikes ready, just like me. I'd love to have my chopper here, but we got to do some work on it, and hopefully next year it'll be here. I don't think I'll make it for October. I'd rather save it for the spring. So we'll bring it out probably next spring if everything's going good, and I'll have it at Willie's and maybe a couple of those other chopper shows. And we'll give you a viewpoint of taking bikes to a bike show, how that all works out. Maybe that'll be a different series that we can do.
There you go.
Might be something to think about. But overall, I was very pleased with the rally. Bad news was we took way too much. We just didn't have enough time this year. And you're like, hey, Bob, you guys have been there for over a month. Just about. But what ended up happening was we got the demo bike for that day, and we're still going to talk about that Road Glide. We're going to give you the good and the bad, and we'll do that video here pretty soon too, this week hopefully. And we'll give you all that good point about that. But that was a whole day. We took a bunch of our subscribers out, and you've seen that on a couple of those clips there. I showed them behind us and stuff. I think how many bikes do we have?
8 bikes, I think, total.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of people. A couple of them were doubled up. And so it was kind of neat, and it was unscheduled. It was kind of like we knew we were going to get the bike a couple days before the rally, and she just talked to a couple people as we were meeting you guys and said, hey, we're going to be going out on a ride. Do you want to go? We might go to St. Augustine's. We might go to
I probably reached out to about 15 people, and then, like I said, about 8 bikes showed up.
Yeah, and a couple of them drank too much, and they couldn't make it that morning. So that's
the
okay
night
too.
Before.
Yep.
They drank the night before. They didn't go with us.
So we didn't really have much for a meet and greet for you guys. Sorry to hear about that. We did one for the Beaver Bar, but we actually had two at Beaver Bar.
Yeah.
We had the antique show that they had there that Midwest Cycles have, and that was a pretty good show too. But it was just bikes get in there, they're so crowded, just like Willie's. Yeah. If you're not there at the very beginning, if I highly would recommend, really want to see the bikes, get there about 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, because by noon you can't even walk in that place. It's so crowded.
And to get all the bikes in, they kind of triple park them, and then they're so close together you can't even walk around the bikes. You kind of have to, if you want to see that one in the back, it's kind of hard to tough to see. So if you get there early, you can watch them just all roll in.
But what's great about that show is every single penny goes to the veterans in town. You know, it's an organization that Willie takes care of, and if it wasn't for Willie, a lot of these vets would be homeless. So that's one of the reasons you want to go, no matter if it's crowded or not. Spend some money there, buy some t-shirts. Everything that's being done there, all the money is being donated. Willie spends a lot of money out of his own pocket to put it on every year, and he does it because he loves the vets.
That's right.
But the only other thing I want to talk about is this year, I've seen a lot of motorcycle clubs and 1%ers this year. More than I've ever seen before in Daytona. What's that saying? Not saying anything. But it's just that I noticed that we had a lot more this year than we've ever had
Just
before.
different clubs too. Clubs
Yes.
we've never even heard of.
There were some from overseas. There were some from Canada. They were all over the place. We actually talked to some when we were in DeLand. They were on one of the videos. They were
yeah.
they were from
From
Germany.
Germany.
Yep. And they
he
weren't.
was the mayor,
I don't
he said.
think they were 1%ers. I think they were just a motorcycle club.
Right.
But there was a lot of them I seen walking by. We had no trouble. Some of them we do know. We chatted with a few. None of those are going to come on our channel. Some of the clubs I know, some of the different people, some of the presidents, things like that. And we chatted with them off the record, and just to kind of see what's going on and things like that. And most of the time, they're just down here to have a good time, like the rest of us. So when you're around those clubs like that, don't really be scared of them. Don't tangle with them. Don't say stupid things. Don't stare at them. Don't take pictures of them. You know, the common stuff. Just give them respect, and they'll give you the respect back. Only stipulation I always say is if you go into a bar and there's a lot of more of them than there are of you guys, you're better off turning around and getting on out.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens so much in the Daytona during Bike Week, but
You never know.
Yeah. So
Better be safe than sorry.
So with that, we're going to leave you right here. We're going to leave you with a drive down Main Street back to normal, and we're going to leave you with a great sunset leaving Daytona, because we've left Daytona. But we're going to be back real soon.
That's right. In a few weeks. Thanks for hanging out with us today. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
Got a bunch of them coming out this week. Stay tuned.
Thank you for watching Bob and Tam.